I doubt I'm gonna be winning any friends over this video, but censorship has been a pretty hot topic the last couple of years. Or at least to some. I've been annoyed all the way back when this was called a frothy mug of water. But lately I'm seeing more and more people tag more and more situations as censorship, and as one would expect, that results in more and more false positives. So today, I thought I would take a deeper look into one situation that I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. So in we go, let's see what's going on here. So by the title of this video, you probably know what we are going to talk about today. Nora to Oujo to Noraneko Heart, or The Princess, the Stray Cat, and the Matters of the Heart. And last week I discovered that there was some tension between the localizers and the fans. Shocker, I know. What really got my attention though were the claims from people with much larger audiences than mine, calling this censorship. And while they perform a sorely needed duty covering these topics compared to the more mainstream press that outright celebrates this stuff, with this situation I think there's some missing information that needs to be cleared up here. The perspective I think some people are seeing is that Noraneko Heart was an adult visual novel made in Japan, and that when Fruitbat Factory localized it, they released an inferior version with all the adult content cut out. The end. While not entirely inaccurate, this interpretation lacks some understanding on not only Fruitbat Factory, but also the way visual novels are released in Japan. First of all, Noraneko Heart, created by Harukaze, was originally released for PC in Japan in 2016. In 2017, the title was then re-released on consoles, still in Japan, with yes, the adult scenes removed, but to compensate, new content was added, resulting in an all-ages version of Noraneko that is, for all intents and purposes, a different product from the original R18 title. Then comes in Fruitbat, who localized the all-ages edition, but only plays a supporting role in the release, with Tokyo Tune and Harukaze dictating the terms. It shouldn't be surprising that Fruitbat agreed to help localize the all-ages version, since the company has, at the time of this video, never localized an adult title. So the people asking them to translate the original eroge are effectively asking, I don't know, a ballerina shoe store to sell combat boots, because one of the shoes they are selling was made by a company that also made combat boots.
Dude, this is a Wendy's restaurant.
I don't want to levy all the criticism on the consumers though. Fruitbat's PR during this has been less than stellar. There's no 18+ version coming at the moment for voice licensing reasons. This does not cover the fact that Fruitbat is in a supporting role and that the original devs were the one to only greenlight the all-ages version, but I guess taking the brunt of the angered fans might be part of their deal. The voice licensing thing is a pretty big hurdle to climb, and one that Harukaze might not be willing to tackle if they don't think they would get a big return in investment. But I think that does open up an interesting solution that I'll go over right after I bring up something that really annoyed me, the talk of patches and modders. Now, I love mods, especially the ones that do crazy things like put Iron Man in Fallout or Goblin Slayer into Darkest Dungeons, but a lot of the time there is a metric gigaton of red tape that prevents any company from ever attempting these things. So when I see, if modders can patch adult content to VNs, then why can't they? I get a bit disappointed. It's one thing to criticize technical incompetence, like the OG Dark Souls port, but this is a whole different type of issue. One that the Japanese side, even if they have the rights, might not want to bother with. A good example of that is the Fate Stay Night visual novel and the Realta Nua patch. See, the Realta Nua patch takes a bunch of content and even voice acting from the all-ages PlayStation port that the patch gets its name from, and adds it to the original R18 eroge. Win-win, best of both worlds, right? Here's the catch. Fans made that patch. Type Moon, on the other hand, does not acknowledge this patch and has never made any efforts to cross content from one version into the other. And I can't think of any other VN company in Japan that has done that either, because in the end, each version is its own product made for a separate market. Honestly though, even without going into the Japanese side of things, this whole just patch it in idea can be boiled down to people, potentially new to VNs, thinking the Steam-only process of releasing a haphazardly censored title and then adding an adult content patch somewhere else is standard procedure. It's not. It is simply a loophole to allow adult titles to be sold on Steam back when Steam was against the terrors of the female nipple. Didn't stop Mass Effect, but I digress. With all this info, while it's not impossible, I don't see them localizing the original R18 content of Noraneko, particularly through Fruitbat, leaving eroge lovers to hope for a fan patch to arrive. but there is a second option. Once again, looking into Fruitbat's history, there is one title that carries a bit more weight within the bounds of this topic. Oujo is an eroge title localized by Just USA in 2017 for the PC, but some might not know it was also localized by none other than Fruitbat Factory in 2015 for the PlayStation 3. And here we reach why this topic, which I scripted the same day it was revealed to me, took a week to make. Seeing this anomaly, I committed myself to try something most content creators my size don't do: investigative journalism. So I sent a few questions at Just USA about the Oujo localization and what kind of interaction they need to have with Fruitbat to make it happen, and promptly got ignored. Quick edit here, I checked my email right before editing this video, and surprise surprise, while it may have taken a while, they replied to my initial inquiry about the localization. So thanks Just USA. But with perseverance and a little help, I was able to get my question seen by someone at Just USA, who elaborated to me that Fruitbat only had a license for the PS3 version, so Just only needed to talk to the devs. Now they did consult with Fruitbat during the localization, but that was only to get clarification on certain translation decisions to help them make what they felt was the best product they could for consumers. This opens the door to the possibility of another localization team working on the OG Noraneko. Now obviously, this one wouldn't have the extra scenes that the all ages version would have, since like I keep saying, they are effectively two different products. All this energy aimed at Fruitbat could be much better used requesting localizers like Just or Manga Gamer, just off the top of my head, to talk to the Japanese devs, as potentially the lack of prioritizing renegotiating the eroge's voice acting could stem from a lack of faith in Fruitbat being able to sell a R18 title, when they only have safe work titles on record. Maybe a localization group with some more credentials inside the adult scene could give reason for Harukaze to spruce up those licenses. Ultimately though, I don't see this as a censorship situation, as with this current information, Harukaze, the original devs, are the sole reason the R18 edition isn't being localized, and Fruitbat is merely a regular localization team helping them out. I will admit though, I am playing devil's advocate for some of this. Personally, I would love for Japanese devs to retroactively patch whatever extra content they make for the all ages version, but that's the way things are right now. But that is just my opinion on things. Still a lot of speculation, but I hope at least some of you that think this is a case of censorship will consider some of the things I said here. Not asking to change minds, just think from another angle. If you come to the same conclusion, you come to the same conclusion. Either way, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.